Washington radio star and Fox News analyst Laura Ingraham. So, Ms. Laura, do you agree that the far left is furious that the interview was a success for Fox News?
Well, first of all, who needs Adam Smith and Milton Friedman when you have Howard Dean? Okay. I mean, the idea that capitalism is about making sure that everyone is financially successful is in and of itself a great laugh line, and Bill Maher should use that in his next stand-up routine. But Bill, just because, you know, we here in Washington, we love you so much, we decided to go through a couple of the craziest left-wing websites, and one of them, and probably one of the most popular ones, in the last, I think it's 17 hours, they have mentioned Fox News, I kid you not, and you're usually mentioned, in the interviews mentioned, and many of them, 17 times. Okay? 17 hours, 17 times. The left doesn't know what to do with liberalism because it's kind of not working on a whole host of issues. So they've defined themselves derivatively through demonizing Fox. It's Fox's problem. And you know, it doesn't surprise me that they're criticizing you for the interview, right? Because if they don't criticize you, they actually have to stand for something. And that something, as we're seeing in the latest poll that just came out today about deficit approval, the president only gets 27% approval on the deficit. Liberalism is getting really hard to defend. So the default position is Fox News is mean to the president. Fox News is awful. Fox News is terrible. Fox News doesn't get its facts right. I say to my liberal friends out there, why don't you try something novel? Propose some ideas that actually grow the economy and inspire people. Find your own new liberal Ronald Reagan and see how that works out for you. But the whole Fox News bashing, it just is.
I think it's more than that. I think it's a nightmare. This is such a nightmare for the uber left. The New York Times just ignored the thing entirely. Okay, that gives you a tip off. All right, so the Washington Post pretty much ignored it. It's a nightmare because the world was watching, and tomorrow we'll have the exact amount. They say 17 million people. That's not true. Yeah. All right, we'll have the stat for tomorrow. But above that, everybody watched it on the internet. I mean, clips and the interviews all over the place. So I submit it's the most watched interview of all time. I can't back that up and quantify it, but you've got to just look at the internet carrying this every place in the world.
Right, but
wait. But here it is. Here it is. This was a success. This was a huge success for Fox News, and it takes away all the lies and propaganda that these people, as you just pointed out, trade on. They wouldn't have anything else to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Bill,
day in and day out.
But the odd thing about this, and look, one of the headlines is O'Reilly's officially in denial about Fox News crusade against Obama. But Bill O'Reilly proves he's not worthy to kiss President Obama's shoe, which is kind of interesting. That's like eighth grade stuff. Yeah, that's like eighth grade stuff. But what if I'm a liberal, and thank goodness I'm not. I pray to God every day and thanking him I'm not. But if I were a liberal, I actually would be pretty happy about the interview as it came off if I'm liking President Obama's policies. And I'll tell you why. He comes across in this interview as very at ease. He decided to kind of laugh at the toughest questions. You're a redistributionist, and Bill, I mean, he was very kind of smooth, and he seemed relaxed, and he seemed like kind of a nice guy, right? And I think you represented Fox News in a different way to a lot of people. That was good for Fox, and I think for him, I don't think it was a big, it certainly wasn't a negative for him. If anything, it was a positive. So why are liberals upset?
Well, but look, it really doesn't matter to the left whether President Obama handles himself well.
They just don't like you.
They're going to say, they're always going to say he did or he wasn't left-wing enough. It's either he's the greatest guy or he's not left-wing enough.
But Bill, can I say that I might fall in, I guess, to your what'd you call people, right-wing extremists extremists on the far right?
Are you an extremist on the far right?
No, well, I don't know. Every time you say that, I don't know exactly who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about,
no,
Ingram. Come on. No, all you got to do is listen to talk radio.
O'Reilly.
All you have to do is listen to talk. I'm not going to mention these guys' names.
You came on my show. Did you? You came on my show Monday.
But I don't consider you a right-wing extremist. I don't consider you that.
But I will tell you, the one thing I liked a lot of this interview, and there was a lot of great stuff that came out of it, and we learned a lot. Just the way he moved, the way he reacted, all of that was interesting. The only thing one of the things that I didn't quite care for, and I didn't quite know why you did it, and I'm just, this is no spin zone, is when you said, well, what can we do at FNC to be better? And in my mind, Bill, I mean, that's kind of getting it backwards. And I mean, he's the president of the United States.
I was very interested in what he had to say.
Bill, we are the #1 cable network in the country.
Yeah, but we can
no
always
one's writing
improve.
articles. Nobody's writing articles about how we are failing as a network. We're winning as a network.
But I want to get better.
I think the question goes to him. What can you do that's better?
Right.
I mean, he's going to give you advice
I
on
wanted
how
to
to
hear
be
what
better?
he had.
That's
I thought it was an
ridiculous.
interesting question. That's why I asked it. But
come on.
look, bottom line, there are two things I want to make before I let you go. Number one, there are right-wing extremists on the radio, particularly.
Who?
I'm
Name
not even
them.
going to bother because I legitimize them, and then they can do 5 shows on it. I'm not even going to bother. Okay.
All right. The anonymous way.
Vicious toward the interview. Vicious. Okay.
All right.
I don't care about them. They are in the same category as left-wing extremists. Number two, the bottom line on this interview is that President Obama, whatever he said, whatever you think of him, enjoyed himself. Fox News acquitted itself very well. We gain in power. I don't know about the president, but we gain in power. And the far left loses power.
Bill,
and that's the bottom line.
On one other thing, on the tax cutter, when he said, well, I've cut taxes, Bill. I mean, that in and of itself was just, laughable.
But I only had 15
he raised taxes
minutes.
on drug companies. I think we saw through that. But the left is in a full froth. You've succeeded if you've done
Bill
that.
Maher, I feel bad that he was offended. I really feel bad that Bill Maher was offended.
He never said anything offensive about President Bush in the last 8 years. Never. He's always the gentleman. So,
all right,
anyway,
Laura
it was
Ingraham,
fun.
everybody.